all that particular part of the law. So the book is basically the whole Torah in the actual book of the law that doesn't have the commentary and the history and the events surrounding when each law was, when each law was given and how we got this particular law. All right, so like Barak said, Barak said that hopefully this is our jurisprudence. This is our jurisprudence as a nation. In other words, you look at how we did things in Yasharahla, we had to have the law codified where it wasn't as much as a narrative, but an actual body of law, an actual jurisprudence that was codified and put into different subjects. So this is the label that we went to do that. Like I said, any category of law is in there. If it appears into different categories, more than one category, then we put it into different categories. Example, sexual sins is one of the categories we have in there. Adultery goes under that to know, that you went off, but then adultery also goes under, family and sex to know what is the proper order of sex between a man and his woman, and what is the disorder of sex and what she's not supposed to, what he's not supposed to do pertaining to other people. So this is, Sapar Tawarah Yasharahla, which is the book of the law of Yasharahla. Nothing's added to it, nothing's taken away from it. Very few laws are interpreted. All right, just a straight law. But if it's a clear interpretation, then it's explained. If it's an interpretation that might be controversial, then it's just what the scripture says. It's just what the scripture says. Okay, so. So hopefully, next summit we'll have it available, for every Yasharahla to have, in their home. We want it now. All right. I think Kinko's supposed to 9. Fresh the order up there. You want to say something real quick?
Yeah. Well, this is our law book. Okay, this is part of Masharah Yasharahla. So, in coming together as Masharah Yasharahla, we have to have what's going to govern us. This is what governs us. Right. With the guide being Yasharahla. But with this book of the law, we want this book of the law to be in every gate, every congregation, every school, every camp, every brother, every sister. Now, as Masharah Yasharahla, what we want to do, and we are going to do it, we want to be able to mass produce this book and then wholesale it to the camps, who in turn can sell it to their members. Retail. But what we're looking at, let me put this out there, because if I don't put it out there, we might have a little discrepancy as far as pricing.
Bring it out, huh? Bring it out.
Bring it out. Okay, suggested retail price should be no more than $9.99. Okay, $9.99. So that'll give you an understanding of what we're looking at as far as the wholesale price. Yeah, we disagree on that.
Yeah, we disagree on that because, that might be too much, but a little less than that, everybody can afford to do that. It's a lot of labor went into it, but even at $10, even though that's affordable, you still might have some brothers and sisters that might not be able to get that, to have that luxury of just being able to look at the codified version of whatever the law is.
Pay them their way. What's going to be the wholesale price?
It hasn't been determined yet, but it will be cheaper than the retail price for sure.
The retail $9.99? That what it is?
Yeah, that's right.
Brothers, you can afford that. Come on. You gotta stop this. See, you're talking about $10. You can afford that, brothers. You're gonna spend that till you leave here and go to school. Yeah. Okay? You spend that every day. You spend over $100 or so every day on frivolous junk. Yeah. All right? Or every week. So you can afford $10, brother. I got news for you. This is worth probably $100. Yeah. All right? He put a lot of labor in this, brother. It's worth $100, maybe $200, $300. Cut. So $10, you get the steal, brother. Okay? You get the steal. You can afford that.
But the goal is is to show transparency among ourselves as brothers, and to show the order of what Masharah Yasharahla is trying to put out. Okay, we're not trying to hit the jackpot. Okay, we're just trying to cover course and to be able to do other things. See what I'm saying? In order to fund other departments in the government that I spoke about earlier, this is the type of revenue that we have to generate. Now, if we can do that on this level, generating, wholesaling pertinent information, then it should help you be able to generate revenue for the stuff that you do within your gates, that we do collectively as a body. Okay? And it's not just that. I did mention, if you want to go into a little bit about the women's guide brochure.
Before we go to the woman's guide, I want to read something real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1 and 2. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among the nations, whither Yahweh hath driven thee. So when the blessing and the curse come upon us, to call the blessing and curses to mind and remember them in our hearts, to our brothers and sisters that are scattered, and remind them who they are and how they got in the condition that they're in. Verse 2. I'm going to try to go fast too, so Salakia. And shall return unto Yahweh al-Hayakah with all, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thy heart, with all thy soul. And then Yahweh al-Hayakah will turn thy captivity and compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither Yahweh al-Hayakah hath scattered thee. So basically, Yahweh is saying that when we obey his voice and listen to his voice, and our children, he said he's going to return and gather us from all the places where he's been scattered. So basically, we have three options. We have a couple of options. We can go through from Genesis to Deuteronomy and read the whole thing. We can go to Maimonides' categorization of the 613 laws, which is not a full itemization of every law and commandment that the Most High gave us. Some of them are summarized, okay, into just remember the precept to do X, Y, Z, okay, or we can wait and to read the Torah schedule every year and go through it, or we can just flip through and read through the book. That had to kind of just like take a day for maybe a week to really read and understand it. All right, so I wanted to say that. Another thing is that part of us being Yasharahla, we became a nation in covenant with the Most High based on our promise to him that we were going to obey everything that came out of his mouth. All his laws, commandments, and statutes. Okay? So this allows us to read and see what the Most High requires of us, and it's really not hard, all right? All right, it's really not hard. The burden is easy and the yoke is light to really obey the Most High and to love him with all our heart, soul, and might. Now, we all sin, but when you look at the book and you see the simplicity of what the Most High is requiring us to do, we learn how to navigate our lives around what the Most High has said to do and not to do, as opposed to navigating the Most High's do's and don'ts around our life. He's at the center. Yahweh says at the center. And we can't put ourselves at the center. Right now, a lot of us make decisions based on this is what my schedule is, what my boss said, what my wife said. So therefore, I can't give the Most High this type of obedience because I have something else going on over here. As opposed to saying, the Most High said I can't do this. Therefore, I cannot make this agreement or obligation or commitment to this over here. So we have to pick up our cross and follow Yahweh. Huh? All right, so in closing with that, we have to come back into covenant with the Most High, period. And when we come back into covenant, we have to be sincere and serious about, bottom line, he wants something very simple from us. All he wants is for us to love him and show him that we love him, but just obeying everything that he said. And that's why we came in captivity, because we didn't obey what he said. So he's telling us right here in Deuteronomy chapter 30, how you get out of captivity? Obey me, keep my commandments, keep my laws, and obey my voice. And that's what this is a part of that process. You don't need this to obey the Most High, but it's a help for God to learn how to obey the Most High. And we know the food is, begin cold, we'll wrap it up. The women's guide. Okay, so the women's guide basically is not targeted for men. It's what, Nathaniel and I supervised it. He read it, proofread it, and it was proofread by me also after him. But it's basically for women, to show women in the aspect of Titus chapter 2. It don't talk about the earth is flat or round or octagon, right? It doesn't talk about, you know, the Gentiles and how Yahushua was born. That's him, Mary, and Joseph business. Don't go into that. It goes into what the scripture says, how to deal with your family and how to deal with your husband and how to deal with the Most High. That's what it covers. It doesn't go into the 20 peripheral topics that are out there. It goes into exactly what Titus chapter 2 tells the women they're supposed to be doing. To love their husbands, how to be keepers at their home, how to deal with their children, and how to deal righteously with each other. And of course, the basics of the Torah that we need to know as a woman to order our household righteously, what to look for in ingredients, what not to look for, ways to get our food from, how to prepare our food, you know, blood and things of that nature with the food. And then, of course, midwifery, you know, how to have a baby naturally. Being a midwife and being a doula, in contact in different states, or how to study for the women to bring forth, how to be a midwife to bring forth the children, to help bring forth the children from each other, right? And how to be more of a social community with each other, as opposed to just meeting a few days a week, going over the Bible, and then going back to our respective, you know, places of habitation where we live at, whatever. So that's. And then also information on homeschooling, and also there's a thing called unschooling also that we have information about. Homeschooling, we have information about that, as well as unschooling, we have information about that also. All right, and in closing, I want to say that you brought out the 10 offices, and the 10 offices, everybody in this room has an obligation and responsibility to see where you fit into Yahushua and Yahweh and Yasharahla's program for the upliftment, for the improvement, and for the obedience of our people to the Most High. Everybody has to fit into doing something for Yasharahla, for Yahweh, for Yahushua. It's time to, I mean, we all teach the Bible and we all know breakdowns, but now it's time to be active in the actual government process of building our nation before we get out of here. Of building our nation.
Let's do it.
All right, so I guess that's one thing we have to realize too. The time for being, you know, I was told there was no sideline. We gonna all be in the front line in some capacity. There's 10 different offices to do. So the different schools we come out of, different camps we come out of, every man got to figure out, talk to your head, that's your main teacher, this is what I can do, where I fit in, and then it goes up the chain, and then it is distributed to responsibilities that with a whole nation can benefit, not just our small local circles. Okay, it's time to really bring that fist together, bring the fingers together to make that hand. All right. And, yeah, Voltron, he said. If y'all who know what Voltron is. All right, so that's all I got to say. And all praise to Yahweh.
Let's eat.
I'm saying on myself, Yahweh. We're gonna eat. Did we pray yet for the food?
Yeah, you know, you late.
All right, shalom alaikum.